There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. Hey, Mark Shepard here for the Better Man Project, and this is episode number 16. And I'm working through a brainstorm that I had the other day, and just kind of they seem to be totally random and not connected in the thought process, but I think they actually are. And I just wanted to kind of take each idea, and the board is here just for me to keep my place, and I'll put what I'm trying to, the key points up here on the screen so that helps you. So what is really, really, really important to you, right? Not just what's important to you, but what's really, really, really important. So for me, I've discovered that right now, solitude. Just to give you an example, I thought my music was the most important thing and that getting it out into the world was what I was here to do. But the reality is, every time I try to kind of do that, there's one problem. I'm a massive, massive introvert. The music comes from a place of solitude. It comes from a place where I have the freedom to explore ideas. It comes from a place where I can learn, right? So for me, the most important thing is not performing my music, even though that's important. Just like sex, you could do this, sex is important, but it's without intimacy, gets to be boring. It's really kind of a drag. Without being able to learn, without being able to share ideas, and without being able to honor my need for solitude, a relationship's not going to work. So recognize that solitude for me and the ability to be in my own energy is where I get the most creativity. It took me 57 years to learn that. And all my life, I kept trying to change myself so that I could hang out with other people better. And that was good work, and it was worthy of doing because we need other people in the world, and we need to be with other people. We need to be in community, but we also need to honor our own deepest spirit. Does that make sense? So ultimately, what's really, really important to you? Ask yourself that question. What is really? What is it that you want really? Do you really want to be with a Playboy bunny, hot chick that all her life has been told she's amazing and wonderful, but she hasn't had to work on herself, right? Do you really want that? Or do you just think you want that because all the magazines and all the porn you've looked at have basically trained you to be attracted to this, this Grecian statue of a woman, right? And ultimately, we want women who are physically fit and healthy, right? Ultimately, the biological thing is, well, yeah, we want a healthy woman. And healthy women tend to have certain body size and proportions. But if you just focus on that, it's just like only focusing on money. It's a surface thing. And so ultimately, what's really, really important to you in a woman? What's really, really important to you in a relationship? What's really, really important to you in a career? What's really important to you about where you live? And ultimately asking yourself those questions helps you to learn about yourself more. The more you know yourself, the more you're able to work on yourself and improve yourself in areas where you can improve, then you're going to do better. So I could keep trying to force myself to get my music out into the world as a performer. But the reality is there's probably a better way to do it that takes less time, less energy, and is in alignment with my solitudinous nature. Today is a Monday as I'm making these videos. And it's a day when I'm not going to go anywhere. No one's going to come to my house. And to me, I'm in my flow all day. I don't have to worry about being polite to anybody. I don't have to be interrupted. I don't have to do anything other than what flows through me. And to me, that's more important than pretty much anything else. To be able to check in on the cryptos throughout the day and to make my moves and to make my plans and to make videos and to write and to learn and to do my research and to take some time to meditate and to go for a walk. All of these things I enjoy by myself. And the realization is, wow, that's really, 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 really important to me. Without that, my reservoir gets depleted and I'm not creating, I'm not good for it. Bleh. So it's this quiet time, this solitude that for me is more important than anything else. There may be something that's more important for you. But the thing is, a lot of times, and here's the point of this video, we think we're supposed to want X, Y, or Z. And then we get there and we're like, you know, people who have become really wealthy go, you know, after a while, it's not, the money isn't that important. Once you have enough of it, once you have plenty of money, all of a sudden it is not that important. So what is important? And essentially this is values work. What is important to you about dating? What's important to you about relating? What's important to you about a career? What's important to you about a job? What's important to you about your health, right? All of these things are really, really what's going on. And sometimes when you're not successful at something you think you should be successful at, it means that you haven't really learned enough about yourself to realize that, oh, you know what? Maybe your unconscious mind has been protecting you from this thing that would cause you to be miserable if you actually got it, right? And there's an old Irish proverb, be careful what you pray for, you just might get it. Or be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. So we want to be really accurate and precise in what we want for ourselves, so that what we give ourselves is what's good for us on every level. Does that make sense? So today, think about that as a better man, as a man becoming better. And particularly with women, I see a ton of guys who they finally figure out that women aren't to be afraid of, and that women actually like guys who are somewhat obnoxious sometimes, who are cocky and funny, and who aren't worried about whether other people think, right? And once you understand that you can truly step into your power as a man, and women still like you, in fact, they want you even more, all of a sudden you realize, wow, I could have any woman I want now. How about making sure I don't waste my time with women who aren't up to my level, right? And that's another whole shift in mindset. But what do you really want? Do you just want sex? Do you just want to get your sexual experience and have as many opportunities to grow your sexual experience as possible? That's okay too. And maybe that's where you are. At some point, you're going to want something more than sex, or maybe not. Maybe you're a shallow person and all you want is to do your own thing when you want to do it, how you want to do it, where you want to do it, with whom you want to do it, and oh, that's what I want. But it doesn't feel shallow. It feels honest. It feels truthful. And sometimes you have every right to not want to be in a relationship if you're not ready, right? And there's a whole pattern of men basically agreeing to be in relationships with women when they weren't really ready, because they didn't want to lose the good parts of that relationship. So the question is, what do you really want? What do you really, 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 really want? And I want you to take some time today and write this down. What do you really, 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 really want? Right? What do you really, 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 really want? You can ask that. Hey, what do I really, really, really want? And to me, I love performing, and I also need to rest from it. I can't just do it like a day job, you know? It's just like, oh, and maybe over the 40 years, my music has been free to go where it wanted to go and to be what it was meant to be, because I didn't have an audience that I was trying to please, right? I just had me. And so I was free to do the kind of music that I want to do, and I'm going to continue to do that. So that's important to know. As you become a better man, I want you to consider that part of being a better man is money. Part of being a better man is relating. Part of being a better man is communicating with other people. Part of being a better man is working on your health every day in some small, doable way, and working on what it is that you feel like you were born to do. And you may not know what that is, but maybe that's what you're here to do, is to figure out what you're here to do and how you can make a positive difference. We are in one of the most opportune times in the history of our planet, in that we are about to destroy this place. And there will be a lot of money made by people who are offering real solutions and practical capitalism-driven ways to save the planet and to save our species from extinction. That's a pretty big gig. That's a pretty big job, and I think there's a part for you to play in it. So start working on yourself today and ask yourself, what is it that I really, 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 really want? what actually would make you really, really, really happy on a consistent, sustainable basis. Good to know. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. This has been the Better Man Project, and it is my current 90-day challenge in addition to my challenge over at the Morning Cryptos. And the other challenge I have is to continue to record my music and to get it out in ways that work for me neurologically and in every other way so that it also works for you. All right, that's it for today. Check out my music, check out the Morning Cryptos, and please subscribe and give me that thumbs up. I think that's it for the business. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace, grooviness, over and out. Start the music.
There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here. There's a drum in the distance, there's a drum right here.